I'm descended from samurai. It sounded like the coolest thing in the world, not that Isla Mackenzie would ever say so aloud. Finally, after months of planning, she was in Kagoshima. The bustling Japanese city nestled among thick forests and craggy hills in the shadow of the great active volcano, Mount Sakurajima. A dry winter breeze washed over her, smelling of soil and stone and the river. She inhaled, a smile spreading on her face. Isla's third great-grandfather had walked these lands nearly 130 years ago. The Mackenzie family lore had it that perhaps he was one of the warriors who had fought alongside Takamori Saigo, the rebel samurai leader who fought to his death against the emperor's army in 1877. He would have been a brave warrior, and maybe even a great hero. Isla liked to think of his blood beating still in her own veins. She gazed in the direction of the great mountain concealed by winter rain. Mist hid the peak that belched frequent plumes of smoke and rained ash on the city. Today, the volcano remained subdued. Takamori Saigo was everywhere, even in the tiny airport welcoming guests to the city of Kagoshima. His face, round and cartoonish with his signature thick black eyebrows, could be found on posters, signs, advertisements, and every piece of merchandise in the souvenir shops. Ironic, since in life he had never let anyone take his photograph. Isla Mackenzie wandered along the river's edge, where loose grass floated lazily down the stream, the surface dancing with scatters of rainfall. She was here on a mission, to find her third great-grandfather's history. Her grandfather, may he rest in peace, had begun his own research, hoping to discover Hisakichi Kuroki's story, but he had never returned to Japan after his parents shunned him for marrying a foreigner. And with this breaking of ties, any family knowledge concerning the details of the life of his own great-grandfather had faded into obscurity. The mere memory of her granddad brought an ache that settled into Isla's chest, heavy like a stone. She stopped at the riverbank to unfold his photograph, the centerfold creased to white, lost in memories of sitting on his lap, his scent of vanilla and coffee, and his contagious laugh that would always send anyone in the room into helpless fits of giggles. Ida, he would say, tapping her eyebrows and then her nose with each syllable. Tomo, she'd giggle back, flicking his ears, then his nose. Isla's grandfather's name had been Yoshitomo, but everyone in Scotland had called him Tom. I will finish what you started, Grandad. She would find the truth about Hisakichi Kuroki. Was he a samurai or a lowly peasant? Had he fought alongside one of the most famous Japanese historical figures of all time? Grandad would never know, but Isla would. Part of her wanted to vow she wouldn't return to her university accommodation in Tokyo until she knew for sure. The thought summoned Mum's stern face to her mind. Maybe it would be better to just work fast. Though she was a quarter Japanese, Isla had inherited the bright red hair of her Scottish father's side, and her fiery locks, feathered into layers, barely brushed her shoulders. She tucked a stray strand behind her ear, checking the time on her flip phone. It was a new Motorola Razr, a gift from Dad just before she started her study abroad year in Japan. Not that she could do much with it here, except to take pictures. Isla noted the battery was getting low, and she told herself to remember to charge it once she had made it to the hotel.